attendees. So we're talking about 7 holy steps in concrete making. 7 is a very a good number even in the numerology. Okay, so I'm thought of sharing. Okay, there are good books, 7 habits of successful people, like that. 7 holy steps in concrete making. I'm going to talk about how to make concrete properly. Okay, you may get the best of the materials in concrete making, but still you may not be able to get the best of the quality in concrete after the concrete is laid if you are not taking proper care. So my colleague already, Manoj, has shared about the company vision, so that I'm not going to talk about it. I will just straight away go to the presentation. These are the various product JSW is making. We have JSW PSC, which is the most eco-friendly cement. Then we have JSW Comcem. It's a blend of slag and fly ash. It's one of the best cement available in the country now. JSW Comcem. JSW Concrete HD is the cement which is builds monumental structures, especially for the underground structures. Is very good. It's a slag cement which gives very high compressive strength, just like a OPC cement. Then JSW GGBS is one cement. JSW GGBS is one cement. JSW GGBS is a product which goes with the ready-mix concrete. Across India, we are selling close to about 3 to 3.5 million tons, and this product is gaining global acceptance because of its benefit. Many countries across the globe are manufacturing concrete using JSW GGBS. We are trying to export also. Then slag, JSW screen slag is one more product. It's a eco-friendly sand. It's a replacement of river sand. I'm not telling it's a replacement of M sand. It is much, much superior, and its quality, strength parameters are equivalent to river sand. This is one more product which is gaining acceptance in Karnataka, North Karnataka, and also very likely in South Karnataka also we are going to get this product accepted, and many queries are coming for this product. So, dear participants, we know concrete. Concrete is a man-made material. Okay. So it becomes like stone once it is set. So we mix ingredients like cement, admixture, aggregates, and water together along with various additives. We are using mineral admixtures like GGBS and fly ash. We are using chemical admixtures like waterproofing compounds. We are adding slump retention admixtures, then workability enhancing admixtures. So based on the requirement of concrete, the concrete demand, what kind of concrete you want low slump concrete like PQC, then you don't require many admixtures. Then you want concrete to behave as an waterproofing concrete, then we use waterproofing admixtures. If you are using self-compacting concrete, then you are going to use VMA, glinium-based admixtures. So various types of admixtures are available. More than 100 types of admixtures are available based on the requirement of the concrete. If you are doing concrete in the marine structures, you are going for hydrophobic admixtures. So each and every admixture perform different performance along with the concrete. So concrete ingredients are, so it mainly contains cement, that is the binding along with water reacts. Then we have aggregates, 12 mm aggregates, 20 mm aggregates, 40 mm aggregates. Then we are having fine sand. Okay. The sand constitutes about 26% of the total concrete mix. Let us say we are designing concrete for 2,400 plus cubic meter, kg per cubic meter, 2,400, 30, 40. It varies. Actually, the density of concrete is 2,400 kg per meter cube. So when you want to make concrete, there may be M20 grade concrete or M100 grade concrete. So we are going to vary the ingredients. Okay, the water cement ratio we are going to vary, admixture dosage we are going to vary. We're going to vary the aggregates percentage based on the water absorptions. So this is totally, it will become 2,400, 10 plus or minus 10, 20 kgs only. We cannot add 5,000 kg to make concrete, AMQ, unless it is a heavy concrete, like especially for the nuclear this thing reactors and all, we use high density concrete. Otherwise, generally we use regular concrete. So, as I've already told you, how the concrete is made. Finally, we'll end up with a product called ready-mix concrete. Uh, so, from cradle to the grave, like how the concrete journey starts, we use clay, limestone, and iron to make clinker using kiln in the cement mills. Then we get clinker, we had gypsum or mineral admixtures, additions. There are several types of additions happening in the cement mills also. For OPC cement, we had 5% performance enhancers. We may had limestone powder, we may had GGBS, you may had fly ash, it's a 5% additive. Then we make cement. So when the cement comes to the RMC plants, okay, we use sand, we use aggregates, we use admixtures, we use water. So with the various blend of cements, we make concrete called ready-mix concrete. Okay, so ready-mix concrete, we have different types of ready-mix concrete. As I already told you, different grades we are having, starting from M15 to M100, 150, what we are using in India. Then we have fiber reinforced concrete, self-compacting concrete, smart dynamic concrete. Then we have for the mass concreting applications. There are so many brands available, color concretes. So concrete is shaking shape based on applications of the concrete, where we are going to use, what is the durability performance, what is the workability performance of the concrete. Based on that, we are designing the concrete using all these ingredients. Okay. So now I'm coming to have a perfect, okay, a perfect mix of concrete can result in poor quality concrete if it is placement is not correct, finishing is not correct, curing techniques are not correct. Uh, so proper conditions of moisture and temperature are not used. Okay, so if you can design a very good concrete in the laboratory, you can make the concrete at the batching plants. But if you don't place it properly, so then we have a problem. That's why I'm talking about 7 only steps in concrete making. Okay. So when specifying concrete, okay, maybe a consultant, maybe a user, okay. So he has to look into what kind of concrete I'm ordering. I want to order concrete to ready-mix plant. I need to understand first, okay, what is the concrete requirement for my job? Okay, it should not be wastage. Okay, so I can I order in intervals? Every 2 hours, one transit mixture should come, or every concrete should come at one time. So the use of concrete, where I'm using for the basement retaining wall, roof slab, or column concreting. Column concreting, let us say I want to use. So generally you can place 10 columns or 15 columns. I cannot order two transit mixers of concrete because the flow of work will be very slow when I'm doing a column concreting. Okay, so generally people prefer to buy 3 cubic meter from the transit mixers. Send me 3 cubic meter. Let me place the concrete. Then only after placing that concrete, I'll order next set of concrete, because you have to make a proper scaffolding for putting the column concrete. Okay, and what kind of cementitious material you are using? Okay, so I am looking at what is the cement content, what is the minimum cement content I should use, what is the water cement ratio, what is the admixture dosage, what should be the air entrainment. Okay, so and what is the desired compressive strength? My 7 days, 14 days, 28 days. Okay, so I am designing the strength parameters, whether I am using for the concrete for the precast, and a grade of concrete may be different. Okay, so what grade, it may be M20 grade concrete, but what I am going to use for precast will be different. What I am using for the mass concreting application is different. So based on the requirement of the strength parameters, 7 days strength, 28 days, and I am defining the concrete, and also durability parameters. Then the amount of slump required. So let us say I'm using concrete for a PQC, pavement quality concrete. My slump should be 50 or 60. Okay. Then if I'm using concrete for my one farm work, I need a free flowing concrete. my congestions are more in the reinforcement, then so there are so many restrictions. So I've told you about the types of concrete, different types of concrete, and why um, concrete placing is important. So there are 7 only steps in concrete. To start with, so starting from batching, okay, you select the raw materials. The concrete may be made at a RMC batching plant, or it may be at a site mix concrete. Okay, if the concrete requirements is small, you make a site mix concrete. Still, in the road work, okay, you make concrete at a site. If you are doing a small culvert work, so whether it is ready mix concrete or site mix concrete, you are going. So batching means it involves the various ingredients, the aggregates, the cement, the sand, then admixture. So you should properly select all the material, then start batching in a batching plant. Okay, then mixing. The batch size will go to the mixer. For half a cubic meter batch size is there, a 1 cubic meter batch size is there. So exactly the required ingredient along with the water it will take in one shot and goes to the mixing. So it is machine mixing, a twin shaft mixing, or it should be a manual mixing. Okay, so there are so many mixing types. So this thing, semi-automatic mixers are also available, where you put the ingredients into a small truck-mounted mixer. Then you mix it and supply the concrete. Okay, so let us say I'm to make place the concrete. Transportation plays a very important role. Okay, I am doing concreting. My RMC plant is 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers away. Sometimes the concrete has been transported up to 50 kilometers. Okay, in rural area they want concrete. They are doing a bigger job. So see, a lead is let us say 2 hours. They will transport the concrete maybe 50 kilometers also. So in that case, so what should be my mix design? Okay, so I've been in RMC India for almost 7 to 8 years. Like so M20 grade, we had almost 1,000 mixes in the M20, M25 grades of concrete. So pure OPC mixes with 15% fly ash, 15 mixes with 15% GGBS, 40% GGBS, 50% GGBS, 65% GGBS. So we had different mixes. So based on the lead, let us say I want to transport that concrete up to 50 kilometers. So I cannot design M20 grade concrete only. It will not give the strength. So I should go for 1 grade higher. My transportation lead is more. So I want to design 1 grade higher. So I need to charge it accordingly based on the lead and the requirement. So you may client may say, no, you give me M20, but I have to design this for M25 grade concrete. So these are the various things when you are doing transportation. Okay. So these are then placing of concrete plays a very important role. So you transported the concrete, then okay. Sometimes so happens that like concrete is being laid and all, people pouring water. Already you have done the batching using the required water cement ratio. Still people start using, no, I'm not getting workable, they put water. So placing is very important. So before placing, whether all the formwork is perfectly all right. Okay, if it is a column, the vertical plumb is all right. So then if the beam is there, we have provided proper cover to the reinforcement. So these are playing important role. So placing of concrete plays a very important role in the concrete making. Then, so you place the concrete, okay, then compacting. So I have seen some slabs collapsing. So I was in RMC Ready Mix India. Okay, so sometimes it so happen like okay, the contractor wants to dump the concrete 3 cubic meter on a cantilever portion. He is doing concreting. It is possible. Cantilever cannot withstand that kind of a load. Okay, 3 cubic meter concrete. What is the load coming on that? Okay, so what I'm telling you is that you have to evenly place the concrete slowly. You have to align first. You have to place the all the beams. Okay, before starting the slabs. So you have to fill up the beams properly. Okay, 2 3 times. Are you going if the deep beam is there? Are you continuously pouring the concrete to the deep beam? Okay, you have to look into that. Okay, so compaction is important. Then finishing, how you are finishing the concrete is very important. So the finishing the concrete means like what kind of rough finish. So the PQC. So PQC requires a rough finish. External plastering is there, internal plastering is there, and so finishing is very important, and also curing. How many days curing you have to do exactly? So these are the 7 holy steps. I will explain one by one from this. This is the line diagram. When we take all the aggregates, sand, coarse water, okay, then uh, transporting and loading and stacking. Okay, get all the materials. Okay, the site mix concrete. If I'm doing a 50 cubic meter concrete, so I have to have materials for 55 cubic meter or 53 cubic meter excess. If there is a shortage, so I cannot stop the work. The problem will happen is that like the labors will go, or you will incur the additional cost. If you're doing a manual concrete. Ready mix concrete means like how much concrete is required, starting to finish. You should order in properly. That's what required. So gauging is important. Gauging is taking the required raw material, mixing, transporting, placing, and compaction. So after mixing is over, then you have to do a slump test. Okay. So to check the workability is correct or not. So fine tune the mixes. Then, so once the mixing is done, then you also take cubes. Sampling is done. Okay. Tube test is here. So in RMC plant, we take one set of tubes at the RMC plant the moment before the truck is leaving, transit mixer is leaving. And after the concrete is made at the site also, you take the samples, we do slump test and cube test. So the checking of the concrete is very important. Okay. So I'm giving a pictorial representation, batching and mixing. Like this is a good old days, like people used to do manual concrete. In India, still only 20% of the cement produced in the country is going to ready mix plant. Rest 80% still is under the control of site mix concrete. So I don't know how long it will take in our country, because problem in our country is that like everybody becomes a civil engineer the moment he wants to construct a house. Okay. So they hire a Mestri, and Mestri will suggest that I will do concrete at your site. I'm going to save a lot of money. So I don't know whether the saving will happen or not, but they face a lot of problems. So batching, mixing, transporting, and placing is very important. So I'm giving some pictorial representation how the things are not getting proper when you are doing site mix concrete. The compaction is very important. Finishing is very important. And curing of the concrete is at most important. Like you have to take concrete like your child, small kid. Okay. So you have to treat it say like a baby when you make the concrete. Some of the photographs, like this is general scenario in India where like we have got a gang which comes to the site and start making concrete. So you can look at them like people are charting here before taking the aggregates. So that is say they have to put 6 to 7 gamela of aggregates. So while charting, they'll miss one or two. So the person who's standing there near the mixer machine, he has become a perfect quality control engineer. So look at him where he is seeing and all. So the proper mixing will not be there when you are doing a site mix concrete. And so when that kind of a concrete is made, either you get a high slump concrete, okay, with a high water cement ratio, or low slump concrete where there is no slump at all. You look at the first picture, there is no slump. So generally, it is okay for the guy who's sitting in front of the mixer machine to allow the concrete to go. Okay, take this concrete because already has mixed it. He cannot do anything. Okay. Finally, the quality will suffer. At one places you are having a nice slump concrete. At another place you are having a low slump concrete. So these are the difficulties in site mix concrete. Then transportation. Look at the way people are moving on the reinforcement. Okay, so it's just become a jatra. If you are doing a site mix concrete, there is no quality control at all. So people walking on the reinforcement, then the cover will get affected. So generally, when we have a cover, 25 cover, 30 cover, up to 50 cover, we are having based on the severity of the environment, extreme conditions. So when you are having this kind of a situation, you are going to have a lot of problems in the concrete making. So finally, the contractors start blaming the cement, start blaming the admixture company. No, you are not provided me cement. Cement is manufactured one of the in India, especially best manufacturing facilities we are having across India. Latest technology. So whatever comes out of the cement plants, it's best quality. But generally, people will not take the blame on them. They try to blame the other person that you are not supplied good quality when the concrete fails. So they will make the people responsible. The material supplier, he does not take responsibility on himself. So when construction is over, the monsoon comes, then you have a leakages. Okay. So there are so many innovative ideas are in the 21st century. Okay. We'll try to cover our mistakes. Okay. So in Kerala, this one building is there. We look at this building. Sorry. So this is a new building. I visited Kerala. So it is somewhere in the Kochi only. So they have covered the entire building with a sheet just to prevent the water entering the building, because heavy rainfalls means buildings are leaking. In one place, such a big bungalow is there. It was leaking, I believe. So the owner decided that there is no point in repairing. He put one more shelter on this. This is how uh, people do. So it all leads to rework, additional investment. So the issues. So I'm coming to the properties of concrete. So concrete is a man-made material, second most consumed material on this planet after water. So fresh concrete. So what we expect from a fresh concrete is that fresh concrete should be in plastic stage. Okay. So it takes the shape of the formwork. Okay. The formwork should be perfectly aligned. So that's one important thing before placing any concrete. So you need to look at the formwork. I was a site engineer when I started my career. So when we used to make that time, there was no RMC was not popular when we were making manual concrete. So I used to go 2 days checking was there. Okay, one day I went to check it, everything. Okay, perfect alignment, each and every the beam width I used to check using the tape whether it is perfectly all right and all. The beam depth I used to check. So like at that time I was so much fascinated about civil engineering. So I used to do all that checking. Do the same thing is being followed by all the engineers now? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, the plumb, the cover to the reinforcement, everything should be perfect. Okay, so the moment it sets and all, you cannot do anything. So before placing, then and there was the inspection from the client side, the reinforcement, whether we have the proper chairs to the reinforcement. These are all we are looking at actually. So once the concrete loses its plasticity, you cannot control anything. So before that, we should take the proper care. So application, so there are guidelines when you are making concrete as per the IS 456 2000. We have guideline based on the severity of the environmental exposure conditions. We are going to design the concrete, whether M20 grade concrete or M40 grade concrete. The coastal region, always you go with M40 grade concrete. So this is the table on the right side, IS 456 2000. So we have the grades of concrete up to M80 grade concrete, ordinary concrete, standard concrete, high strength concrete. So these are the various types of concrete we are having. So I already told you, based on the severity of environmental conditions, we are going to have the cover to the reinforcement. That's very important. So generally we follow similar type of giving the cover. Okay. So because before any harmful enemies of concrete like sulfates, chlorides, carbonation, so it has to enter through the concrete phase. So if you are providing proper cover, then it will take longer years to enter the reinforcement. It has to be protected by the concrete. So extreme condition up to 75 cover you should give. But generally, I am not seeing that people uh, doing at the right way. So especially in the projects, it may happen because project having strict quality control team. Whereas in the case of other structures like IHP segment, such people who are building the structures on their own, so the providing proper cover is always neglected. That should not happen. So advantages of concretes are many. It will check it's the form of the reinforced, like the formwork, and you can add pigments to that color. You can make color concrete. You can polish it also. The polished concrete just looks like your granite and all. So versatility is there. Like all over the world, the acceptance to concrete is increasing now because of you can innovate various types of concrete, various like light emitting concrete they have invented now in the Middle East and all, Qatar and all they are using. So for the pathways, okay, it will start emitting light in the night time. So these are the various innovations people are doing now. So continuously every day there's a research work happening on the usage of concrete for various applications. So coming to the finishing, concrete can be finished to produce surfaces ranging from glossy, smooth, and it can also add pigments. I still remember in Infosys Mysore, so we had added a pigment because they wanted a pathway for the people to walk from one building to another building. So we did it with concrete. So they selected concrete because we could add pigment and make a colored concrete for them. So there are limitations in the concrete, as I've already told you. How the advantages are there, that we have got limitations also. The limitations in concrete are weak in tension. So concrete will not be able to take tension. So the reinforcement is one thing which give the takes the tension of the concrete. Okay, take the forces, loads on the concrete. Then concrete is weak in tension. The bulkier than steel and wood. So you have steel and wood. They are the sections will be smaller. But when you take concrete, it will be bulky. Because to do that, what they are doing now, they are going with a high grade concrete. M80, M100 grades of concrete they are using now everywhere for the high rise buildings. Okay. And requires expensive formwork. So formwork is very important now for high rise buildings and also for structures. They are using very innovative formwork. Okay. It plays a very important role to give a better finish to the concrete. The concrete undergoes creeps, shrinkage, okay, and also it can crack. So nobody can say that I will give a crack-free concrete. Okay. So and it is not environmental friendly because like whatever cement we are using, if you are using only OPC cement, so each ton of OPC cement liberating about 800 kgs of carbon dioxide. Okay, it's not an environmental activity. That's why we recommend people to go with using GGBS for blending. So the GGBS emits about 50 to 60 kg per ton of GGBS production. So where cement is emitting 800 plus kgs of carbon dioxide. When you blend with GGBS in the RMC plants, you are reducing the carbon footprint. So per cubic meter, I'm talking about one M40 using 40% GGBS, we can reduce 105 kg per cubic meter of concrete, the carbon dioxide emissions. So various grades are there, classification starting from M5 to M80 I've given. So M30 onwards, we have to go for the design mix concrete. Okay, up to M25, we can go volume batching with the proportion. So starting from 1:5:10, M25 grade concrete comes with 1:1:2. M21, 1.5, 3. So volume batching is allowed up to M25. M30 grade and above, standard concrete with standard deviation, you have to design the concrete. So across the world, people are making concrete in the laboratory level. M700 grade, the concrete equivalent to steel strength. So we say Fe 500, Fe 550, Fe 600. So that is the strength of steel now. People have designed concrete using various materials and technology up to M700 MPa. Okay, that is highest grade of concrete. In the laboratory level, they have designed. Using that kind of a concrete, like you don't require steel at all. You can make concrete without steel using that kind of a concrete called reactive powder concrete. Some bridges have been built in many countries, small bridges without using steel. They have done using pure concrete only, called high performance concrete. So the components are concretes are many. So Portland cement, what kind of cement we are going to select is very important while making concrete. Whether a pure OPC cement or a blended cement, slag cement, high volume slag cement, high volume fly ash cement. So many types of cements are available in the market. If you are making site mix concrete, go with a blended cement is the most ideal thing. As I already told you, using OPC is detrimental to concrete. Not only detrimental to concrete because of the various reactions on the concrete, also you are increasing the carbon footprint, like the emissions are more using OPC cement. When you are making ready mix concrete, you should go with GGBS or fly ash. So of the combination of GGBS and fly ash based on the availability of the materials in South India, Bangalore especially, they have adopted to go with only GGBS mixes mainly. Okay. Aggregates, coming to aggregates, we have sand, gravel, and crushed rock. Water, one of the main component in the concrete making. So without water, we cannot make concrete. Using water is very important. So using admixtures, PC-based admixture to reduce the water demand, because summer we don't get water to drink in city like Bangalore. Any places drinking water is very difficult. So using admixtures, you can reduce the requirement of water up to 30% or 35%. So design, when you want to design concrete, so you have to go with other ingredients like cement, then aggregates, then sand, then water and admixtures. So I'm going to talk about cement a little bit. Quickly, I'll go through that. The function of cement is to gel the all the ingredients together and to give a workability. Okay, to place it and compact it and cure it. So cement is used as a mortar also. Cement and the sand mix is used as a mortar and also for as a concrete. So the binding ingredients in the concrete or the mortar are cement and water. So the function of cement is to give a proper shape to the element. Then looking at Portland cement, Joseph Aspdin was the bricklayer in United Kingdom. In 1824, he invented a cement that was called Portland cement. So since then, the Portland name has become synonymous, like how we call photocopying as Xerox. Like Portland has become common with all the cements. Portland slag cement, Portland Pozzolana cement, Portland OPC cement. So this was the invention happened in 1824 in England. So since then, the usage of cement has gaining acceptance across the world because that is the most valuable material and you don't have any complete replacement of cement. In cement, we have got various ingredients when you are making cement: calcium, silica, aluminum, iron oxide, and gypsum in the various proportions. So one main component in cement is the calcium oxide, 63%, silica 22%. This is the manufacturing process of cement. So we get all the raw material, clay, limestone, and it comes to raw mill. From raw mill to a raw mix called silo. Then it goes to the preheaters. Then we get the clinker from the rotary kiln. Then the clinker will be stored in a silo, and in the ball mill, we grind the clinker along with gypsum, or we grind it with using fly ash or slag to get various types of cement, PPC, OPC, slag cement. And finally, it gets dispatched to the customers. This is the manufacturing process. And types of cement I've already explained you. 43, 53 grades of cement, 33 grades cement also available. And blended cements we are having, various types of blended cements. Cement chemistry, if you're using cement, you should get the fresh cement always. Okay, you can use cement up to 1 or 2 months old cement. So, but if it is should be properly stored, then only that cement will be good. So it is hydrophobic in nature, so it absorbs moisture. So it should be watertight. You should store it in a watertight, like moisture tight godowns and all. So proper packing of the godowns is very important. Otherwise, in the rainy season, the cement get damaged if you are storing for longer time. So, what are the constituents of cement? The various grades of cement. I'm showing the lime saturation factor. What is the lime saturation? Then the heat of hydration. I'm showing here early strength and heat of rate of hardening. So as you go from 33 grade to 53 grade cement, all the parameters will keep changing. And the main active ingredients in the cement are tricalcium silicate, dicalcium silicate, tricalcium aluminate, and tetracalcium aluminoferrate, along with gypsum. So in any cement, generally, you are having these factors. Okay, tricalcium aluminate, tricalcium silicate 50%, dicalcium silicate 25%, tricalcium aluminoferrate 10%. This constitute a cement. So in this, the highly reactive components are tricalcium silicate and dicalcium silicate. Tricalcium silicate helps in the early strength requirement, starting from first day to 3 days. The additional strength development happens through reaction with the dicalcium silicate. So one by one, I have already explained to you. This is the function of each and every chemical component of cement. Tricalcium aluminate. So C3A should not be very high. So it helps in the initial strength development. So if it is in the higher percentage, then it helps the poor sulfate resistance. That means to say should not have more C3A content. Okay. And also the volumetric shrinkage will happen upon drying. So tetracalcium aluminoferrate is one more component. It acts as a filler material along with calcium hydroxide and CSH gel. Then coming to the water, usage of water is very important in the concrete making. You should use a very good quality water. Potable water should be used, and also reduction in the water consumption in the concrete making is a must, because water is not available. It's difficult. We should preserve the water by using admixtures and also using curing compound, so we can avoid the water for curing. We can start curing the concrete using applying the curing compounds. So water is very much required, as I've already told you, both for chemical reaction and workability. SCMs, supplementary cementitious materials, are very important. We have fly ash, silica fume, and pozzolaners, which go with the concrete. So various percentages. We have made concrete using GGBS M 70, M 100 grades of concrete. And various percentages we have used, starting from 25% to 70%. So I'm talking about mineral admixtures. We have Class C fly ash, Class F fly ash. Fly ash is becoming scarce now because of the dependency on the thermal power generation is reducing day by day. We are going with mainly GGBS now. It's available. Silica fumes is available for high grades of concrete. So this mineral admixtures, we have to check the source of material. There are a lot of duplicate materials are also available. You should not depend on them. Buy from a reputed company when you are buying these products. So aggregates, very important. The shape of the aggregates, the angularity, the flakiness index of the aggregates, the moisture absorption of the aggregates, very important. Now, for the replacement of river sand, we have got slag sand, which is available, which can be replaced completely with 100%. JSW is manufacturing this slag sand from our Bellary plant and also at Dolby. So this is gaining acceptance everywhere as a replacement of river sand. So aggregate occupies 60 to 70% of the total volume of concrete, and selection of good quality aggregate is a must to get good quality concrete. So it should be as per IS 383 2016 specifications, coarse aggregates, and fine aggregates also. We should properly check before selecting, because fine aggregate play a very important role in designing the workability of the concrete. The chemical admixture, there are hundreds of companies manufacturing chemical admixtures. Should select the right, for every batch you should not change the admixture based on the pricing and all. Select the suitability of the admixture based on the requirement of aggregates and other demand. Then go with the right admixtures. Don't keep on changing in between. Many companies are changing admixtures based on the pricing. That should not happen. They should go with an admixture which gives proper workability, proper design. So there are many chemical admixtures. They are help to improve the performance of the concrete, the workability stage, mainly to improve the slump, to make the concrete to flow, keep the mix cohesive. They help reducing the water demand. So admixtures are mainly used. Nowadays, 100 types of admixtures are available. The usage is predominantly there in across India, all over the world, because they're changing the rheology of the concrete. Okay, using lesser water, want to get higher strength, M100, M120 grade of concrete. You should go with an admixtures. So coming to the admixtures, check the job specification. So for what purpose the concrete is being used, whether it's a waterproofing concrete, whether it is a mass concreting application, whether it is a roof slab, whether are you doing the concrete in the open area where the wind velocity is more, it sucks away the water when you place the concrete. So these are very important things when you are making a concrete. That's why I'm talking about 7 only steps in concrete. The adding a mixing water is very important. The dosage of water, how much you have to add, what is the percentage of water cement ratio. And manufacturers recommend minimum and maximum dosage. When you're using admixtures, they give what should be the minimum dosage, what should maximum dosage. So as per that guidelines, you have to use the admixtures. And it need not be same for all the admixtures. Different companies have given different formula. Their manufacturing process different, formula is different, blending of chemicals is different. So based on the manufacturer recommendation, we should go with the many RMC plants. I find they go with a common dosage of admixtures, 0.6%, 0.7%. That should not happen. There are types of admixtures: air entraining agents, water reducers, plasticizers, super plasticizers, then retarders, accelerators, especially used in the precast industry, PC-based admixtures. So this is the family of admixtures they are using in the concrete making based on the requirement. And VMA, viscosity modifying admixtures, especially to change viscosity, because it become very tight, mix will be very tight. If you are doing 500 kg plus cementitious material, mix will be very tight, especially in the self-compacting concrete. Adding VMA to have the proper slump retention, flowability is very important. So VMA admixtures play a very important role in the concrete making and foam concrete. So design the mixes as per the IS 10262 specifications. It's the latest code which incorporates the usage of GGBS also in the concrete mixes. Earlier codes were not having, so now the new code which has come, having different mixes, different examples, which can be followed by any engineer at the site who are designing the mixes. Based on that, we can go with the mix design. Finally, goal of is to get proper quality. Workability is very important. Slump, fresh properties, slump, temperature control, density and yield is important. Air content is important. Time of setting, concrete setting. Also, like let us say you're doing in the rainy season, like you have to place the concrete in the morning before the raining happens in the night time or evening time. So the concrete should be set, otherwise the concrete will be washed away. We have many sites we have seen that they're doing monsoon seasons. They continue to do the concreting. So the moment rain start happening, especially coastal environment, you have to cover it. The concreting is made, you have to properly cover it. Fresh properties, workability, ease of placement is important, homogeneous mix is important, and consistency. Each and every batch, whatever we concrete we are making, each and every batch should be consistent, should be have the same specifications, same workability. So that can only happen in the ready-mix batching plants. Strength, compressive strength, flexural strength, tensile strength. These are the three strengths we look into concrete making. So mainly, compressive strength is very important for concrete making, because based on that only the payment will be released by the client to the customers, the contractor. So if we not satisfying the strength requirement, then we will not be able to get the payment. The blame game will start on cement companies or admixture companies. So the person who's handling concrete at the site should take utmost care while making the concrete. What's important is the usage of mineral admixtures along with the cement. It's very important whenever you're making concrete. So OPC cement, I was there in RMC India long ago. At that time, 50% of the mixes were pure OPC mixes. I still remember. Okay, so converting them to blended concrete using GGBS or fly ash took a long time. Today, I can say hardly about 10 to 15% of the mixes are with pure OPC cement. Rest and all been converted into blended concrete. So measuring slump at the site is very important. Proper measurement should be there. Proper compaction in layers. 25 blows in 4 layers should be done. Give proper slump. Factor affecting the slump or the paste volume as well as the aggregates, flakiness index and elongation index. These are the various things we are having a problem. Okay, so ball bearing effect. When you use the mineral admixtures, we are going to have the ball bearing effect in the concrete because it will make the concrete to flow. So if the shape of the aggregate is different, as I'm giving an example, we're having less space. So aggregate shapes are very important when you are making concrete. Selecting the right quality of aggregates is very important. You should not have aggregates which are very flaky. Coming to the durability performance of the concrete, the concrete durability are determined on the water impermeability of the concrete, sulfate resistance, chloride resistance, resistance to alkali silica reactions, resistance to carbonation. So when you are designing the concrete, we should design keeping in mind. So using blended cements, supplementary cementitious material is going to help us to design the mixes. So with this, I would like to close my presentation. So there are 7 only steps in the concrete making we should follow properly, starting from batching, mixing, then transportation, placing, compaction, and curing. These are the 7 only steps which are followed in the concrete making. So these only steps will help to properly make the concrete. Even though you are making a good quality concrete, if you don't follow the 7 only steps in the concrete making, you will not get the results. And then checking the concrete, slump, the cube testing, and other testing methods to be followed as per the IS guidelines. So thank you very much for listening to me for this presentation. Any doubts are there, I will address the questions later on. So it's over to Manoj and
yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. That was a wonderful presentation. So now we got Mr. Arun. Arun will be talking about construction chemicals. We welcome you, Arun. If anybody has got any doubts, you can post it in the chat box. We'll be answering the same simultaneously.